sip some tea while we spilling the tea. Yeah. Real talk, real smiles, dentistry. Safe space vibes, clarity. Pull up a chair, yeah, your family.
Girl, about time.
Sorry, I'm late.
Not with the accent.
Can I go to the restroom first? Just kidding.
Okay, well, today let's talk about some pain, some growing pain.
Okay. Not with Robin Thicke, though, right?
I love that show.
I know.
Show me that smile. But those who know.
Right.
But no, I'm talking about in the sense of where you help your doctor grow his practice. And it's kind of like when you try to hold down that boyfriend that was in jail.
Then when he get out, he go mess around with Keisha and them down the block.
Yeah, dang. He was appreciating you when he was eating when you needed to be on the commissary and he was eating the oodles of noodles. But now that you have helped him build his practice up, you know, it's kind of like,
I don't want oodles and noodles no more. I want ramen.
okay, we never really we've talked about ourselves and said each other's names, but never really introduced ourselves.
It's crazy. How rude.
Okay, it is your favorite dental aunties. I'm Gina.
And I'm Aaron.
So now that part's over. So you'll know going forward. So we don't have to do that every episode.
I hope not.
I wouldn't mind it. If it comes to us in the mood, then we'll just do it.
Yeah, we can.
But no, real talk. Yeah, there's a lot of dentists out there that a lot of us auxiliaries and team members, you know, we hear the sob story. We feel bad for them because of the sob story. We want to help pull them up. Not because, you know, like, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. You genuinely want to help. Because that is part of your makeup. I know that's a part of my makeup.
Yes.
You know, and, you know, I'm a sucker for like, and I don't want to say sucker. When something tugs on my heartstrings, you know, and I see that you're genuinely trying to do something with yourself and help people, then, you know, you're okay in my book. And I'm going to definitely help you, you know, elevate even more.
Yes.
But, you know, you get to a point where you start to overfunction in trying to do that, which, you know, starts developing invisible labor as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
know?
the stuff that you're doing that people don't see. Everyone knows that it needs to be done. Everyone knows somebody should do it, but no one takes the initiative to do it. And so that ends up being you. Right?
Even though I'm already helping him or her try to build up their practice.
Right. Right. From the clinical aspect as well as the admin aspect that can happen. And what ends up happening is you have listened to the story and you have decided that through it all, like that boyfriend in prison, through it all, you're going to stick by that person, even though you know that he robbed that bank.
Mm-hmm.
But he is changing and you're going to help them through that change. Who's to say that...
And also coupled with, if I'm going to win, we all going to win.
Right. And that's the thing. So who's to say, like when he got out and now he want ramen, who's to say that when you are working for a provider and you have brought that practice and them up to a certain level and now they've decided, you know what, that seemed pretty easy and so I'm paying you a pretty penny, I think I could get it for cheaper. I think I could get someone in here to replace you and do the same thing for less because you've made it look so easy because of the invisible labor and the over-functioning that you've been doing along with a certain set of skills. You're mistakenly thinking that you're now irreplaceable. Now, you're not, and it's not a cocky, I'm irreplaceable. It's more of, yeah, this person, this doctor, this administrator, this manager, whatever, really understands my value because they can see it. It's very tangible. But that's where you put the brakes on. Because you have to remember, what have I said? You're an independent contractor working for this company.
Oh, yes.
So they're always going to be thinking about the bottom line. And this is not a dig. They should be thinking about the bottom line because you're thinking about the bottom line too. But you do have some practitioners who will falsely think that it's easy because you made it look like it was easy. I'll give you an example. I have someone I know who goes into practices and does cleanup.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And you and I both know cleanup is not easy. And the reason you have to do cleanup is because the people previously had no clue what to do.
And then they keep putting people in the same positions that also have no clue, and then it snowballs.
Right.
But the thing is that, and I don't mean to cut you off because I'm just thinking and processing in real time about what you're saying, but that does create such a big task for that consultant to come in there. And a lot of dentists don't do that because, and they don't see the value or importance of having it fixed. It's just, if someone gets to it,
They get to it.
they get to it whenever they get to it, if they get to it. It's...
But then here comes a aha gotcha moment.
Okay.
Is when you think, once you've gotten it cleaned up, and this is a situation that's happened with her. Once she's gotten things cleaned up and back on solid footing, the next step is to, when you go to hire someone to come back in here, they need training on how not to get back to this point. But what happens is they let that person go. Okay, you're done. You've completed your task. We don't need any more from you. That's it. And people tend to think, like, she thought that this doctor would be loyal to her. She thought that this doctor would take the rest of her advice, everything else that needed to be done. But the fact of the matter is, no.
Did she even give her any referrals to any other doctor associates that could probably also be?
No. Because here's what...
And how long was she doing cleanup for her?
She was doing cleanup for about 9 months. 9 months. But...
Why would you not only this person who was really trying to get your business back,
Right.
and,
solid.
get you back solid, and was good at it, never gave you any issues, and did the work and you were happy with it, but you wouldn't bring her back on for anything else or even give her any referrals for any colleagues.
Well, that's because, again, it's walking that fine line between doing just enough to be okay and too much where it's always expected. So I think she made it look like it was just this easy. All I had to do was ... and all the invisible labor and the over-functioning was not seen. Those are the intangible things that they don't think about. So, yeah, you're talking about growing pains. Yeah, that's a pain. That is definitely a pain. Thinking that, and here's the thing. When doctors think they can replace someone like that, they think that, okay, I had to pay this person $40 an hour just to focus in on that. Now that it's done, now that it's clean, now that the house is clean, I can go ahead and bring someone in for $27 an hour and then just move forward. That is the myth that these practice administrators or doctors, whoever's making the choice, have about that situation. We're talking administrative. Now, when we're talking about a clinical side, when you have an assistant, let's say, who is the one, when we talk about invisible labor, who is the one who is always doing the behind the scenes things, the little things that make everyone else's job easier. And it could be something as little as making sure that toilet paper is on auto order. Because that could be a disaster.
Oh, girl, that's what I used to do. I used to make sure the things that
Right.
We need it. Yeah.
Everybody knows somebody should do it. Everyone's happy when it has arrived. They don't know who does it.
And I wasn't told to do it. I just took
Right.
it upon myself because I know that it was needed.
It needs to be done. And, setting up an assistant, setting up systems and setting up protocols in place and is there to oversee that. Then once things get running smoothly and everything is going great every time or most of the time, and that person decides, okay, they're no longer seen as valuable. The assistant, and this happens a lot in the assistant world, you're no longer seen as valuable because it's just how it is now. They forget how it was, but it's been so long that it's been going so great, and they no longer feel valuable, and they come and say, hey, I've put this, and this in place, and I was just wondering if I could get X. And it's not always money. It could be time off. It could be, paying for a membership. It could be whatever. And they're shot down. Well, not this time, or we can't afford it, or let me think about it. That's a pain. That's another one of those growing pains. Like, you did all this stuff to really help everyone, and then you feel defeated because you're not appreciated. Meanwhile, Rebecca over here, who does the bare minimum, asks for whatever she asked for and gets it.
That leaves me very chafed and feeling raw. Oh.
So what do you have to do? What do you do in that situation? Say you like your team. You like everything. It's convenient. It's a 15-minute drive from your house. You like everybody on the team. It's just that maybe your doctor doesn't even know that this is what you're asking for. Maybe it was just the supervisor or manager or administrator. What do you do? What do you start doing? You start recalibrating your effort. You start thinking now, oh, okay, I understand that this is my lane, and I'm supposed to just stay in this lane. All the other things that I've been doing, which are not expectations of me, I'm going to switch, pivot, recalibrate my efforts now. Now, I may start bringing my own toilet paper.
That sounds so dorm room.
Yes,
like,
it's very
I'm
petty.
going to put my name on stuff.
Yes.
And since you're not going to contribute, this is mine, and I can
Right,
only...
it's not orange juice. You won't go that far, but then you start to rethink things. You start to rethink how you're going to move, which then comes detrimental to the team. It becomes detrimental to the culture.
It forms a disconnect too.
Absolutely. And then what do you have? You have a bunch of discourse, and the morale goes into the toilet. And then you start to think about, what do I do to make sure that I am taken care of? Let me just go ahead and start practicing self-preservation. No one else here is thinking about me, but I'm thinking about everyone else. So let me just switch that. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not a good idea. It sounds fun and funny, and it sounds great. It's retaliatory, obviously. But how do you get through that? What advice do you have for somebody in that position? My advice would be to keep the course. Whatever you're doing, and you brought it to the attention, and they're not willing to acknowledge it, recognize it, or appreciate it outwardly, continue doing what you're doing. And if all things being created for you, this is the place where but for that, you would like to be, stay. But if it's that on top of this, and this, and this, and this, continue doing what you're doing, but then start to look for a place where you can carry that somewhere else. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, especially... because the job culture is so much different because of the people that are in the positions and the generation that they're coming from, and that mindset from that generation. Because, baby boomers and Gen Xers, we work through it, because we were raised by baby boomers,
right?
So, like, someone like myself, like, I could be mentally checked out from a place that I've, because as you know, I've been in situations where I was mentally checked out because of the culture, the environment,
Right.
the doctor. That's why people think a lot of dentists are cuckoo. They never say the hygienist. They always say the doctor is loco.
Right.
But
yes, you've been in those situations where you've mentally checked out, but
Yeah.
your performance.
right, my performance. My performance still remains the same.
Right.
Even though you may pick up some energy from me, like, is she upset?
She's not as talkative.
Could she possibly leave?
Right.
You know, but I'm still performing at high. I'm still performing very high. Still
Right.
doing everything I normally do. But when the opportunity presents itself, I'm giving Snagglepuss its heavens to Murgatroyd.
Stage left.
So I'm out of there, you know, because in this field, and I know you haven't experienced it, I have been a victim of it, of feeling and experiencing burnout.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to so many of us in this profession, and that a lot of us, there's certain circumstances, and I totally get it, because sometimes you might, a family member may be dependent on you. You may have kids or kids
Right.
dependent on you, and you can't just up and leave.
Right.
You know, I've been in that situation where I've been scared, like I can't just, you know, because, you know, I share a house with my mom and my husband, you know, because my mom and I are like peanut butter and jelly. We're so close, and I love having my mother near me. Could my husband and I live by ourselves? Absolutely, but I love having my mom around.
Yes.
But
Me too. She makes some good biscuits.
you missed the last batch, sorry girl. But, you know, I'm not someone. Could I possibly just up and quit? I absolutely probably could. Like, my mom would be, you know, it's fine. You know, I know you're turn around and catch, and, you know,
Right.
and get hired somewhere really quick. And my husband very, very supportive. He's like, you know, I care about your mental health. You know, if you're not happy, then don't. You know, we'll push. But the person that I am, I would not do that.
Right.
You know, I would, because the economy, and like right now, because of the inflation right now, anybody who's looking for a job, I will say this: if you are somewhere right now, even though you may be unhappy, I would definitely advise you to probably try to tough it through. Reason being is that not only are gas stations taking advantage of gouging all of us because of what's going on, but you can rest assured that since inflation is affecting everyone, how much you want to bet if someone tries to go and try to apply for a new job and they're expecting to get a certain salary, that doctor is not going to pull out that inflation card?
Yeah.
You know, people will be using it to their advantage, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Now, I mean, unless you're in a position where it is absolutely taxing you.
of course.
If it is draining you mentally and physically, if it's
Absolutely.
affecting you physically
Absolutely.
and mentally, you can figure it
Yes,
out. Temping
absolutely.
is always a thing.
Yeah, and temping is not what it used to be.
And temping is not what it used to be.
It's certainly not. That's
So-
kind of like the go-to, which is why
Right.
they have a company
Called
called Go-To.
We are not sponsored by GoTo in any way. But for the bottom line is, you're gonna experience, or you may or may not, like Gina said. I have not been in a situation, in a lot of the situations
Get the crazy.
that she has been in. But if you are in those situations, there are ways to go about it. Like I said, if all things are great except this thing, where you don't feel like you're appreciated, continue to operate the same way you operate. But like Gina said, when an opportunity presents itself and you feel like that's a place
Plan
where
your exit strategy
Yes.
post haste.
Yes, plan your exit strategy for sure. But in the meantime, you know, don't let what other people, it's almost like someone else's opinion of you and what you do and how you operate really don't matter. Just continue to do you. Like, for me, you know what? Let me tell you a story.
Oh, yeah.
Real
Picture
quick,
it.
before we end this. Picture it. Italy, 1936. And if you know, you know. I was told in a situation where we were all in sort of leadership positions, and because I am no nonsense and
matter of fact,
not mean, but just stating facts with no emotion behind it, because emotion wasn't necessary in the situation, someone else got their feelings hurt. Now, there was nothing directed at them. It was just, we're talking as a group. You want feedback. You're asking for feedback. You want me to be honest. So I'm being honest and I'm giving you the feedback. I'm not just giving you the problem, I'm giving you the solution, or what I think could be one of the solutions. I was told privately after that meeting that I needed to tone it down.
Not tone it down. Were you speaking loudly?
No, I was speaking just like I do now. And yes, my voice is very
Robust.
strong. Robust, I like that. My voice is very robust. But no one else felt like I needed to tone it down, except this one person took it that way. So their opinion was that I needed to tone it down. So you know what I said?
Who said it?
Well, yeah, I want you to know who. Because you know me. What? Who said that?
Let's all talk. Let's all get together.
There's no misunderstanding about my response I'm about to give you. But my response was, what? What does that mean? Tone what down? It's not my job. It's not my job for this person to try to figure out how to receive the information.
Being a woman of color and being told to tone it down.
Yeah, that's a dog whistle, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
But and this was a situation where I was the only person of color in the group, and so yeah, I was told to tone it down because I seemed a little aggressive. How many times have we had to hear that, right? And so I asked the person who was telling me, I said, do you feel like I need to tone it down, or did you feel like I was aggressive? And the way I'm talking right now, to some people can seem aggressive, can seem like I'm hyped, but it's just matter of fact because I'm talking to you. So her answer was no, I didn't think so. And I said, did anybody else think so? And her answer was no. I said, so there you have it. There's nothing for me to tone down, and I'm not aggressive. This person, I can't help that this, and let me be real, y'all.
It's a scoot up moment.
Okay, I was a bit sassy mouthed. Okay. My response was a bit sassy mouthed. And I did say, I can't help it that his parents didn't give him enough confidence to be able to have adult conversations with adults. That was sassy mouthed. And I recognized that, and I told her, right now in this moment, yes, I'm being sassy mouthed. But I can't help the way he took something. But anyway, I said that all to say, if I were to listen to what his opinion was about the way I handled the situation, then I probably would have thought to myself, I need to turn it down. I need to not appear to be so aggressive. I need to do this. I need to adjust myself. I'm not adjusting anything. I am of a certain age, and this is me.
I can't change.
I can.
No,
I know.
how they used to say back then, I'm too old to change.
I'm too old to change. No, I'm not. But I'm not going to. Because, for the most part, it's received as intended. So, we said all this to say, there will be some growing pains. Some worse than others. Some you may feel more than others. But there's always a solution and a workaround. So,
and hopefully it doesn't take too long to know what the possible pain can be before it comes on full force.
Right.
Because pain always shows up uninvited.
Yes, it does.
All right, now.
But you're invited to the next
always
episode.
To the next episode. We'll see you then.
See you then.
This is tea.